Welcome, everyone. I'm Kimberly Boschman, and this is the Intentionally Intuitive Podcast. In this episode, we're going to take a look at each individual life path forecast for the month of April 2023. Before we get into the forecast, this, of course, is a general reading. If you would like a personalized reading where we'll take a deep dive into your own numerology, please book some time with me. My information is in the description box below. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at April real quick. So April 2023 is a 2 universal cycle. And what that means is that universally, collectively, we will all be feeling the influences of this 2 energy. So what this could bring about is the need for balance, things coming to the surface that are out of balance, whether that's body, mind, spirit, or with relationships, things that have just felt out of alignment, coming to the surface for review to bring back into alignment at this time, or at least start that process, right? This energy is also asking us to become the observer, to stand back and really not get too emotionally invested in a situation that we don't need to be emotionally invested in, but rather take a step back, take a look through a broader lens and see, are we thinking too rigidly about something? Are we overly invested in something? Are we overextending ourselves in a situation that we don't need to be? Or again, are we overly involved in a situation that we don't need to be, which is therefore leading to resentment or frustration or stagnate, whatever, right? Whatever being overly involved or being too immersed in the situation, if it's causing imbalance, then again, this is going to be a month where standing back, being the observer, seeing things from a broader lens will benefit us. This energy will also ask us to be more decisive and discerning in who we choose to invest our energy into, what that looks like, what we will compromise with, and again, making decisions. So there may be events this month collectively where things come in and we need to make a quick decision, and it doesn't really necessarily give us time to second guess ourselves or to weigh the pros and cons. We have to trust our own internal guidance system and the information that we have that's presented to us and make a decision. And then once we make that decision, we have to give ourselves grace to understand that in that moment, that was what we needed for ourselves. And so again, deal with the consequences as they come up from that decision. Maybe make different decisions moving forward if you need to, but don't beat yourself up about it, right? Trust yourself and trust that the decision that you make in that moment is what is best for you in that moment, right? And all involved. This can also be about channeling charged emotions. So the 2 energy can sometimes bring intense emotions or deep emotions, so to kind of be moved through. So it can be a charged energy, right? And so you might find that you're easily triggered over something, or that you feel deep emotions about something. This is a month where emotions could be coming in very strongly. And so sit with them, move through them, work with them, honor them, but be mindful of how you express them, right? If you become overly agitated or overly aggressive or something like that over a situation, that's going to influence, if you're not in control of those emotions and that charged energy, that's going to potentially dictate whether you react or you respond to the situation, right? Which then will dictate the experience that follows. So this month is really asking us to get in more awareness when it comes to our emotions, and as well as how we want to work with those emotions and that charged energy, because emotions are life, right? We are feeling beings. We are meant to feel emotions. It's what we do with those emotions that makes the difference, that creates the experience. So this 2 energy coming in collectively is really going to be asking us to take a closer look at that and take responsibility for how we express those emotions, right? Not meant to avoid them, not meant to suppress them, none of that. We are emotive beings. We are meant to feel. So, but again, it's in the expression that makes the difference and that determines the experience. And so this month could bring up some things that might trigger us, that might force us to look at the emotions that sort of are more in control of us. so that we can get a greater handle on that and work with that energy, that charged energy, and channel it into something positive. This can also be a very highly sensitive month where things that might not have affected us in the past are a little bit more quick to bring about some kind of reaction, right? Or response. And so just pay attention to what's yours, what's not yours, because again, it's a highly sensitive period. And so we could be picking up on things emotionally or get a sense for things that affect our mood that may not even be ours to carry. And so just keep in mind that it is a highly sensitive period. So don't get too attached to what you're feeling, especially if it's not yours, right? And again, relationships could come into the focus this month. So mending or healing of relationships that are still meant to be a part of the journey. New connections coming in. So new soulmate connections, friends, family, pets type thing could definitely be coming in this month. And these are often relationships that are serving a greater purpose. So some kind of soul contract coming in potentially to assist us on our journey. So pay attention to the people that you meet, or again, the pets that come into your life at this time. We could uncover a new way of relating to others that serves us better and serves others better, right? So a new way of looking at relationships and how we relate to others could absolutely be coming in collectively this month. So again, pay attention to those people that come into your life or the people that resurface in your life and what they're trying to show you. What is their divinity trying to teach you, right? Through their own wisdom and through what they trigger within you type thing, or what they bring you that's beautiful, right? And so how we can learn to accept that beauty as well. That's a big part of relating as well. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at each individual life path number now for the month of April. Okay, life path number 1. So I pulled an animal wisdom message for you all for April, and you got Tasmanian Devil. And so it's kind of like if you've ever seen that cartoon, that depiction, it's kind of like that. Again, we talked about charged energy in the intro, and it's kind of that sort of energy, right? So making sure that whatever comes up for you that is triggering or that is forcing you to sort of look at how you react to something, this can be a month where you sort of need to maybe come up with better ways to work with that energy so that you're not just sort of putting that on other people type thing, right? So because one energy can come across as very strong, very determined, very like, to some people intimidating as well, right? Because a lot of times ones, especially when they're in that energy, are more assertive, sort of know the direction they want to be moving into, and they're going to go after it. It's very Martian energy, right? Like Mars. So it's very much like, yep, I see it. I want it. I'm going after it, and I'm going to make it happen type thing. So it's like this having a goal and then having the conviction to go after that goal type thing. And so some people can be, some people can be off put by that, but that's, there's to move through. But the Tasmanian Devil is just this reminder that, if things don't go your way or things don't work out the way that you had hoped that they would, instead of sort of reacting or putting that energy onto other people, that frustration, that like, more like aggressive energy, things don't go your way, basically, how are you going to respond to that? Right. And so Tasmanian Devil is basically saying like, there's all this energy, find a way to move it that's not putting it on other people type thing. Right. So with ones in general, I would say, moving your body is such a beautiful way to move the energy because there can be a lot of like, pressure with one energy, and there can be a lot of like the need to move that energy, right? And so with Tasmanian Devil coming through, it's kind of like there might be some things that come up this month for you that are triggering or that bring about this like energy of like competition almost, or feeling like you have to do something in a more manipulative way to get your way. And so I would say definitely, especially with the overarching energy of 2 this month, just be really mindful of how you are expressing that charged energy, because it could easily shift from like simple competition to full-blown conflict. And so you just want to make sure that you're not the instigator of that. And if that does crop up, that you're removing yourself and becoming more of the observer, because ones are meant to find the solution, right? Blaze the trail, all of that. It's not meant to be this super competitive energy, even though in its shadow period it can be. But it's more about finding the truths and, facing those truths and then figuring out what you want to do with those truths, right? And so this month for you all there could be some things that come up that are just triggering, and you just need to figure out how you want to work with that energy. And, participating in, just putting your energy towards any kind of aggression, any kind of conflict is just going to detract from actually, your journey, right? It's just going to slow you down and move you away from where you're trying to go. So just be really mindful of that. Be very mindful of those trigger points, right? And of people who want to compete with you. This is, you're one energy. This is not about a competition. You are meant to be the leader. You are meant to lead alongside of others. So it is not a competition, although people may want to make it that with you a lot. Just isn't the journey for that. Healthy competition, great, but anything that's going to create or could escalate to conflict, you don't have time for that in this lifetime, right? Now, for the month of April, you all are working with the 3 energy. So again, this is about working with others, collaboration, finding common ground, and then making something really beautiful from that, right? Where you are still sort of in that leadership role potentially and not losing the integrity of your vision. But where it's not, where it's, working with others, meeting others, and then sharing ideas. This can be a great month for meeting like-minded people who have the same sort of vision, and you're the one who can bring that to life in a lot of ways, right? And working with them in some greater capacity. So again, and then under 2 overarching energy, this is such a great time to meet people and then work with people in such a deeper way. This can also be a month for opening up the lines of communication and being very mindful about how you're communicating, right? Like you don't have responsibility for how your message lands, but you're responsible for what the intention behind that message is. So just be really mindful of your words, the written, the spoken word. There's a lot of power behind words, especially from a 1, because whether you feel it or not, having a 1 life path, that commands sort of that respect. It's like a leadership type energy, and you sort of exude that whether you want to or not, and whether or not you're in your life path yet or not. So people may look to you, whether you recognize it or not, for your expertise, for your leadership, for, again, your advice type thing. So you are, whether you like it or not, or whether you recognize it or not, you are in some kind of a leadership role at all times, right? So you have the power to influence others. So just be really, with that comes great responsibility. So just be really aware of that in the message that you're putting forth and what you're delivering. So I would say this could be a busy month for you all if you want it to be. Your social calendar could get quite busy. You could meet new people. This could be great for meeting new clients, getting new clients, starting a new job that has you more in the spotlight, has you wanting or needing to sort of step into your own creativity and your creative self-expression, and using your voice, finding your voice and using it. And this energy can help you to find the platform to do that. So this is a great month for asking for assistance, asking for what you need, and then, using that assistance to help catapult you to wherever it is that you're trying to go. But I would say just make sure you're paying attention to, just keep your ego in check. Just make sure that you're not being overly reactive, but take your time before you respond to something. And if someone wants to come at you with a competition, if it goes beyond just a fun, friendly competition, then maybe that's not for you this month, right? Because this is a month under this energy where, especially with the Tasmanian Devil coming through again, where simple competition can quickly lead to conflict. So just be really mindful of that, right? And I would say also this month not to be too rigid in your thinking, be open to other people's ideas and what you can take from that inspiration and what you can build from it. So this potentially could be a very powerful month for you all, especially with networking, meeting new people, to help assist you and get where you're going. Ones can sometimes be overly independent. And so this is a great month to really lean on others, get ideas from others, collaborate with others. And not be so much the lone wolf, right? So beautiful energy for you all for April. I hope it's a great month. Take care, everyone. Bye for now.